So let's say I go back to my Maven repository, or you can go to the find jar anywhere and you mention here, I need a Cucumber core. So if you can see Cucumber core, I can get this one, that info.cubes. I can get this Cucumber core. That is the libraries. That is nothing but a jar files. So you need a library, a jar file to work on a BDD approach. So we are using Cucumber as a framework behind this. So we need all those Cucumber frameworks libraries. So I can get this Cucumber core from here. I can just download that Cucumber core, and likewise I have downloaded all other files. So let me show you in my laptop. So you need this Cucumber core, which I had downloaded last. Okay, then I have HTML, then I have Java, JUnit, then I have TestNG as well, then I have ReportNG, JVM, then I have 2.1, and I have the Gherkin, that is plain. So these are the libraries are required. So you can go one by one, that is Cucumber Java, next Cucumber JUnit, and you can search into your this Maven repository. So you said JUnit, so you will get the Cucumber JUnit from here, info.cube, and you just download it. So likewise, you need to download all these libraries. I'm repeating again, you need to download all these libraries one by one. You need all these libraries on your local machine. You just keep it somewhere on, like I have kept on my BDD library here. You just keep it on your BDD library. Just mention here. Okay. Same way, you need a Selenium library as well, because we are going to work on a Selenium. So for Selenium, you can go to Selenium. For example, I said Selenium download. So I go to the Selenium dev site. You can download from Selenium bindings or libraries from here. So any language, currently I'm working on Java, so I can download this Java version from here, and I can get again and store at one place. So if you can see, I have mentioned here that one place. Also, to work on any of the library, that means currently we are working on Cucumber plus BDD plus Java plus Selenium. I wanted to open an application and enter some text in the Chrome browser. So if you want the Chrome browser, you need to download the third party or the browser's library from here. So you can go to the Chrome and you just download your Chrome libraries from here. So if you can see, I have downloaded my driver, that is Chrome driver here. Okay. So all those things I have downloaded, and we all set now to start. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the application which is nothing but your application under test. So I'll go back to my application. If you can see, this is my site, Selenium QTP automation, where I have my username, where I need to put my password, where I need to put my confirm password, and I need to click on submit. So my scenario says I wanted to enter user password, confirm password, and click on submit. So scenario said registered page. I wanted to register from the registration form. This is my scenario. Okay, so I wanted to automate this using Cucumber plus BDD. So before that automation, we need to identify all its locator. So if you wanted to identify its locator, right click anywhere and click on inspect. Let's say I want to identify this specifically web edit box. So I said right click and inspect. If you can see, I will get the value name equals name. So name is my attribute name and another name is my attribute value. Let's see for the password. So password says name is my attribute name and password is my attribute value. So I need attribute name as well as attribute value both while I need to identify this element. Okay, if I wanted to identify the confirm password says name is my attribute and confirm password is my value. So this is how we wanted to go with the automation now, and finally we need to click on submit. So this is all the things which you require. These are all the prerequisites. So you need all your Cucumber library, you need Selenium library, you need WebDriver, and you need application under test which you are going to start. Meanwhile, on Eclipse side, you need Cucumber plugins with your Eclipse, and you need to add all those library with your BDD the session, or let's say BDD project. So let's say I'm going to add all those from here, build path and configure build path. I'm going to add all external jars, let's say all my BDD libraries like this. I say open. I'm going to add my Selenium libraries and another Selenium libraries. So done. As of now, if you can see, I have added all my Selenium libraries here, and I have all my Cucumber or BDD libraries here. So Cucumber's libraries also we involved, and we said okay. So now we have all those reference libraries which we have added, Cucumber and Selenium libraries. Let's start now. So on the feature side, I am going to create a new feature now. So let's say right click, new, and I said a new file I want to create. So if you can see, this is feature. I'm going to create a new feature file, that is registration dot feature. Okay, I said it is nothing but a new file, that is registration dot feature. I wanted to create a feature file where I can do a registration. I click on finish. If you can see the registration feature file, it shows you the Cucumber sign here for this feature file. So any feature file is having a basically dot feature as an extension. Dot feature says this is my feature file. Dot feature says it is my feature file. If you can see, we mention here. So this is my JWT where I can write a plain English now. Okay, this is just nothing but specifically comments that I have added, but I can remove this. I don't want this, or if you can keep still, it's okay. So I can make this a bigger one. Okay, now if you can see, there are different tags. So tags are nothing but which you can use. So I will write here, it is for example, a feature tag. Okay, so you can run your BDD a test using any of the tag also that you can see. Now I had given this feature and I had given this as for example a scenario. Okay, now I can give the detail about this feature. Let's say I am saying I wanted to, okay, this is my registration feature, and I say I wanted to use this feature file for registered user. Okay, now what is my scenario? So I'll go back again to my application under test. If you can see my application, I said I wanted to enter my username, I want to enter my password, I wanted to enter my confirm password, and then I wanted to click on submit. These are the things I wanted to do. So I said registration page 1. So there are multiple pages. If you can go next, there are 5 pages. So you need to go by one scenario. So I said this is my registration page 1. Now, when I said a registration page 1, I said there are some of the precondition, then there are actions, and there are some expected results. So if you can see, by default, they had given this key1 is nothing but my precondition. Then if you can see, when is nothing but my action. And when you can see, then is nothing but my outcomes. So we'll see the tagline later on about the scenario outline. As of now, we go with the scenario first. So I have this scenario. Now I wanted to define this in the plain English language. So given I I have a URL. I have a URL and I wanted to open Chrome browser, for example, with URL, for example. Okay. Then when I enter username, and I enter password and I enter a confirm password. Okay, so I'm repeating again. I have a URL. I want to open Chrome browser with URL. I enter username, I enter password, and I enter a confirm password. Then forget about the submit button, or if you want, I can click on submit button also. And I click on submit button. Then validate the page title, and I close a browser. And this is my scenario. Okay, so see, the same way what we can write in the manual way, the same way we can write in a feature file. So I have writing my scenario plain in English, plain Kirkin language in a GWT manner. Okay. So I said I have a URL. I want to open Chrome browser. I want to enter user, password, confirm password. Click on submit, or I can say I wanted to click on submit button. Then I wanted to validate the page title, and then I close the browser. Okay. So these are all my steps which I wanted to execute now. Now I go back. So I said, if you wanted to run these steps, definitely you need something to run. So I said, what we need a runner class. So that is nothing but a JUnit runner class. So I go back, I can create a new package here. And I said a runner package, for example, a runner package. Okay. I created a runner package. I'm going to create a new class, a Java class. I said test runner. I said test runner, for example. Okay. So I said test runner. Now to run the with the JUnit, you need a JUnit library. That means JUnit library we need to add. Let's say we didn't add a JUnit library. I wanted to run with, and I tried. So there is no further IntelliSense. It will help you to write on the run with. So see, it says no, that there is nothing. So you said there is no output. So what I'll do, I'll go back again, right click on my project. I said build path, configure build path. I go to add library. I select JUnit, next, and I select finish. If you can see, we have added JUnit here. We click on apply and OK. Now if I try with the run with, and so IntelliSense will work this time. So it will give you JUnit runner and run with, if you can see. It will show you the JUnit runner and run with. Okay, so this is a class from this JUnit runner package. So it is nothing but a Cucumber implementation in the JUnit which we added. So I wanted to add now a further things to this, that is your which class I wanted to run. So I said I wanted to run a cucumber.class. So if you can see, it copy Cucumber API from JUnit which we have added, Cucumber class. Okay, and then what? So then I wanted to do my Cucumber, okay, Cucumber options. In the Cucumber options, so Cucumber options, most of the time, I mean, you are not aware, it is nothing but property files or settings for your test. So basically, the Cucumber options enables us to do all the things that we would have to done if we have used Cucumber command line. Okay. So now I wanted to add a different options here. Let's say I am going to add here. First is I wanted to run what? I wanted to run my features. Features, what is the name? Where are the features? So features is available within my feature. If you can see, I have the folder feature. So I had given that here. Features are available within the feature. That is what we are doing. Now, when we go, we wanted to give, or let's say, let's try to execute this. Let's try to execute this. Okay, I just save this code and just try to run as your JUnit test. Once you run, let's see what it says. Okay, so if you can see, there are on the left hand side, we have run 8, that is 8 steps. Okay, and what it says. So I show you, when you said I have added all this feature 5, okay, but I don't have implementation of those feature 5. So how to identify those? Because you still not implemented your step definition. So what it says? It says you can implement missing steps within the snippets. It says it will implement a missing steps within this a definition file. So I simply copy all those files. I simply copy all those files. I go back to my step definition. So there is no class, so I have add a class here, that is a step definition class. I've added a class, step definition class. I said finished, and I paste all those steps here. You can see I have pasted all those steps here. Look at this. So whatever the things they were asking, we have added all those steps here. So I simply import the things those are required. If you can see, I have first step that is given, I have a URL, and second step was and. If you can see here, second step was and, but it was taking it as given. Why? Because it checks and is incorporated with which previous GWT. So it is with given. So that's why it is taking this also as a given here. Okay. And then it will use for when, same way for when, there are 3 to 4 when. So all those when are now, all those and are now when. Same way in the then and same when, all those actions are done now. So now we have added the steps here. I go back to test runner class and again try to run. Okay, so let's try to run. Okay, there is an error because, okay, so we'll just import this pending exception, and then we try to run it again. Okay, so do you think it will execute something? Go back on your console. See, still it is saying you have to implement these missing steps. Why? Because still it is not getting the reference of those missing step definition, because we have not added here the step definition path, that is your glue. So you need to add glue equals your path. So again, the path is what? So we go back here and I'll show you the path. So path is your step depth, this. So we added a path name as your step depth. If you can see, I have added a step depth. So step depth is this. Now try to run again. Once I execute this time, definitely it will throw you the exception, because all the exceptions are added there. So this time it refers This time it refers specifically to your step definition. I have a URL, but by default we are throwing the exception, so it will print that exception and close the execution. So go back and see here step definition. So I have URL, we just throw. Once we mention throw says it will terminate your execution. So we terminate our execution here itself.